welcome, welcome, welcome. This is another edition of A Lot of Help. I am James Lott Jr., the Lot that does help. I'm a certified life coach, and I like to bring you ideas and views and points and from people other than myself who also are out there helping affect change in the world and people's lives, personal, professional. And I have a guest today who does that. Actually, I've been following him for a while, and he's all over YouTube. He's on the podcast world. He's out there. And I just love talking to other coaches out there who are trying to do things. He helps others build their own long-term sustainable online businesses. That's something that I want to really cover while we're talking with him today. He also has podcast master classes, and now he's on my show. I'm so excited to have him on. Trey Lewellen. How are you, Trey?
Hey, brother. Appreciate you having me, man. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, this is going to be good because you are a dynamic speaker. I watched your videos, but there's one question I want to ask you, just right off the gate. It's very important that I ask you this question. I want folks to know this is an important question because I think I noticed this and I'm really curious. Are you left-handed?
I am absolutely left-handed.
That's what I thought. Yes. I thought, okay, I'm joking about how that's important, but I do want to actually ask you a question about that. I would like to have your opinion on this. I'm left-handed also. One of like 3 people in my whole family on both sides. One of the few ones growing up in school. I noticed for me, I don't know what's about you, I know there's been some studies out there, but I know for being left-handed, that's actually kind of made me learn how to adapt fast to things and also fight harder for things. Because there's so many things that are kind of the way we write, the way we sit, where we sit at the table, using certain products. It's all we always have to overcome how to use those things. And I always just wonder, has being left-handed done anything for you in terms of that too? Do you recognize the same kind of stuff?
It's kind of amazing. So I agree with that. Like the biggest thing that I hated in school was the dating spiral notebooks, like those metal spirals.
Yes.
Killed my hand.
Yes.
Killed my hand. And I hated those things. So like I didn't write notes as much because my hand would get hurt.
Yes.
And then of course writing, you can't write in really dark ink pens because it smears. Like you write something that smears, like what the hell?
Yes.
And then, it's ironic that you asked that because yesterday, like I'm 32 now, and yesterday was the first time in 32 years I realized that I put my belt on backwards than anybody else. And so I'm curious for you is, since you're left-handed, how do you put your belt on? Because if you look at my belt, so if I was looking down, the flap is pointed to the right, like the little, like the what goes through the loop.
Yeah.
Does yours go to the right or does yours go to the left?
Oh my God! Now I got. I'm not wearing a belt right now. It's like I got to think about that. I think it goes. I think it's backwards. Also, I think.
Is yours pointed to the right?
I think it's pointed to the right. I think.
See, everybody else points theirs to the left. I'm like, I've been putting on my belt, and then I tried putting on that way the other day because I felt awkward, and that's the most awkward feeling in the world, putting the belt on backwards. I was like, I don't know. Somehow I've managed my whole life to put on a belt backwards, apparently with my left hand, because it just seems like that's how it should go, because the loop goes to the right, and then I don't know, but yeah,
oh my God,
crazy, right?
I'm like, because I'm 48, so I'm a little older than you. I'm like, and I didn't know things. I'm like, okay, I think he's right. I'm like, I know, I know. For example, my kids and grandkids laugh at me because I put cards in for them. Weird. When I give them a card and I'll put like money in it or something or check in it, they're always like, things fall when you do it. It's just so weird when you do it. I guess I don't know. I mean, I do it what feels natural for me because I'm left-handed, but for them, they all laugh. They think it's backwards or something.
Interesting. Yeah. Yes, I guess the world has to. The world has to adapt around us, right? Like we have to adapt around the world. I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Because man, like it's amazing how not only as you and I have adapted to the world that we're placed in, but as entrepreneurs,
yes.
Even we have to adapt or not to adapt because the public, like the general public, adapts to the society that we're given, right? Like,
yes.
Go to school, sit down, the bell rings at this point in time, get up, go outside, go to the restroom. go get on the school bus, go to home, sit down, do your homework, eat dinner, go to sleep, take a bath, wake up, do the same thing on repeat. And it's us entrepreneurs. I don't know what happened or what's seated in us, but we are like the reactive, like the radio reactive piece coming out. Like we're the thing that the organism that's being shoved out of society, and we're claimed as quote unquote entrepreneurs. But it's so much more than that. Is what I've started to see just from hiring people and talking to people, and it's really what sets us apart. But society, they want to drug people like us.
Yes.
We tap on pencils.
Yes.
We turn down the radio when we're trying to concentrate on the next turn, the upcoming turn. Like when I'm watching my phone and I'm going down the highway and I'm coming up to an intersection where I need to turn, I turn on the radio because I have to concentrate on my turn.
Yeah.
It's weird like that. I drive with no radio on.
Right.
Because I love to think. My mind is always on tilt. And when people get in the car, they're like, why is it so quiet here? And I don't even notice because it's loud. Because my brain is on fire. My thought patterns are interrupting my other thought patterns. And so it's a lot of different things going on in an entrepreneurial world. But as society sees it, they see it as he's got a problem. He has ADD or ADHD, or he jumps from one thought to another thought, back to the same thought in one sentence. Like, how does that even happen? And so people have trouble following us, and so they say, oh, well, something's wrong or something needs to be fixed with them because that's what they've been taught their whole life, but not to be an entrepreneur, but to follow the rules and regulations of the public, right?
You just said something that just clicked with me. Oh my God, we're clicking already. I sometimes have the TV on with no sound in the background when I'm at my home office. And I'll have interns come in and they'll say to me, "It's so quiet. What's going on?" I'm like, because I'm busy thinking and doing work. The TV's on. It was on at one point, probably. Obviously, it was on at one point, but now I don't need it on. Like right now, it's on the background. I kind of glance up and see what's going on, but I have a lot of thoughts in my brain going on also because I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny you just said that. I never even figured that. I never even thought about that either. You just said that now also. I do because I'll be like, okay, I'm figuring out because I do TV shows. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I do TV shows. I do radio. I have a practice. I have life. I'm like, I'm working on something, and I'll leave that that almost distracts me if it's on, and I hear the sound. Because I'm trying to really think. I'm trying to get this going. I want to because, as you know, as entrepreneurs, we wear many hats. We're doing. Sometimes we're thinking of 20 things at once, but to do them well, you got to concentrate. You got to concentrate on some level to do them well. And I do nothing about it. I'll turn on my TV or just have it on mute at times when I'm actually thinking about stuff. That's so funny. You said that. I never thought of it before. I do that. I've never even thought of it before. I love it. I love it. Now, so now, first of all, I want to find out who are you? Where'd you come? I've noticed you online. I noticed you from your videos and stuff, and I like what you had to say business wise, and that's how I found you. But for my listeners, can I give you a synopsis of where you're from?
So basically, I'm born and raised in Hannibal. Good old Mark Twain, Tom Sawyer.
Oh yeah.
So, funny story about that. I was actually playing Tom Sawyer one year, and on Main Street, and this tourist comes up, and she's like, "Hey, youngster." I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Could you point me in the direction of where Tom Sawyer's burial is? Because I'd like to give him my condolences." And I said, "What?" And she goes, "Well, what cemetery is Tom Sawyer buried in?" And I go, "Ma'am, I don't mean to ruin your day, but Tom was a fictional character."
I know, yeah. I was like, okay.
So that's the world I grew up in.
Yeah.
And I had a pool business when I was young. I was like 16, so I had like 10 pools making cash. I was charging people like $40 a pool session I did every week, and I had like 10 pools. So as a 16-year-old, I was making pretty good money, like $400 every week.
Wow.
In cash, because I was not claiming any of that, as most 16-year-olds don't.
Right.
And from there, I became an engineer, so I went into a direction that I thought I wanted to be. So I went to school, I did the college thing, $90,000 in debt or whatever, an electrical engineer, graduated 5 years later, worked for a company for a year and decided this wasn't for me. I need to become an entrepreneur. I want to work for me. And I want to go build something. But I didn't know what to build, right? Like, the internet was just kind of coming on.
Yeah.
And it was cool. Like I had this guy reach out that I found and at an event, and he's like, do you want to do this? I was like, yeah, I want to do it. And he's like, well, it's $2,000 to start. And dude, I was making $5,000. Probably take home was probably $3,500.
Okay.
From my insurance job as an insurance agent, and so paying this guy half my salary was. Well, I was like, no way, I'm not doing this. Like, this guy is insane in the membrane. And he texts me, he goes, either you're going to change your ways, or you're going to keep making, the $35,000 to $4,000 a month. And I said, damn it, he's right. And so I picked up the phone and I said, I hate you, but I love you. We're doing this. I don't know what we're going to do, So I paid him the $2,000, and for the next 3 months, I couldn't get anything to work. Nothing was making money. I was spending money on Facebook ads, and he was showing, like, his results, and I was like, oh, my gosh, that's amazing. But how can I repeat it? Because I was repeating exactly what he was doing. I couldn't get it to work. And he goes, well, what do you know? Like, what industry are you in? And I said, well, I'm in insurance. He's like, well, why don't you do leads for insurance? So I was like, well, that's against our HR and all that other stuff. Yeah. And he's like, well, do it for somebody else. And I go, well, I'm really good friends with this loan officer here in St. Louis. And he goes, well, go have a conversation then. So I walked in that office with my head down, and I was like, dude, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm going to be straight up with you. And secondly is I'm not even going to charge you for this because, one, I want to make it work. Two, I feel really bad for charging you. So it's the worst sales game ever, right? Like, I was totally like, doubting myself. Yeah. Like, not taking this dude's money. And he's a good friend. And he's like, you know what? I'll give you money to spend on Facebook to give me loan leads. And I said, okay. And so, because he trusted me, like he wanted to help me grow, right? Yeah. And I went home, and within a month or 2 months, we got it working. Like, it was actually working. We were actually getting loan leads. And so I was doing what I like to call a done-for-you service. And that's when I do all the work. I'm at fault if something goes wrong. Okay. So I built it up to like 10. I built it up to 10 loan officers. And I'll tell you how I built it up so quick. It's really funny. It is the first time ever that I have received credit card numbers via text. Wow. And here's how I did it. I'm on a webinar, and I'm just kind of walking these people through, like, nonchalantly, like, hey, this is how I'm getting you leads, this is how much it's going to cost, like, but the thing is I can only take 2 people per state. Well, what they didn't know was that the people on that certain webinar were only from a particular state. Because I was targeting the states, like I would do Missouri, then I would target people in Illinois, then I would target people in Iowa. And why I did that was I knew who was on the call. Like, I knew that call was of Missouri people. Mm-hmm. So then at the close, I'm like, okay, well, here's what it is, guys. Like, no real hidden secrets. It's, $2,000 or whatever to start. And I can only take 2 people per state. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a map here, and I'm going to show you the states that already closed out. So I'd have, like, Washington closed out, okay. I'd have California closed out, like Florida closed out. And then, like, let's say it was Missouri on the call. What I would then do is say, okay, we're getting, and that's so funny, is I had a phone in my background, and I was pushing the loud button. Okay. When you push that loud button, it makes it ring. Yeah. You know how it makes it ring like that? Yeah. So they think my phone's ringing, for one. Okay, I'm like, oh, sorry, guys, I forgot to turn my phone off here. Sorry about that. Let me turn that down. So, yeah, if you could call that number or text me, let me know. And then I would start closing out the surrounding states. So I'd say, oh, there went Illinois. Oh, there went Iowa. Oh, now this one's closed. And so basically what they're watching on the screen is all the states surrounding their state closing, right? Mm-hmm. So basically it created this massive amount of urgency and scarcity to call quickly, because I said I'm only taking the 2 people per state, and I got to tell you, man, is my text started coming in where it's like, I hope I'm not too late. I want to be in on this. Here's my credit. Like, they were taking pictures of the credit cards and sending them to me. Wow. Because they wanted to be first in line because of how I closed it. Wow. And so I had 10 clients that I was working with. My goal was to get to 50. And I walked in one day, and I had 10 voicemails on my phone, and none of the ads were running. Then that's when Facebook did their first PPE ad change in the algorithm, and they actually shut down everybody. They didn't shut down the accounts at the time. They just dropped everybody to zero.
Oh, dang.
And then they had people come in and create new ads.
Okay.
And that's when I realized, like, I was no longer in control of something that, I couldn't control Facebook.
No, you can't. Obviously, you can't. Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, that sucked. So I was like, holy crap, I don't want to do WVU service anymore. So that's when my brother was graduating law academy, and I didn't want to do the insurance gig anymore. I started to figure out what online was. And I was like, hey, let's go into business together. And that's how we started our business, which is around the prepper niche, the survivalist niche. And so we sell items and products and physical goods to the prepper niche and survival niche. And we've done really well. If you know anything about ClickFunnels, we're actually currently their biggest user. We've sold the most goods on ClickFunnels than any other user, which is pretty cool. That's a cool stat.
Congratulations.
So we know how to build a funnel. We're really good at building funnels and making sure that the traffic that's coming in is going to convert, and the funnel is perfectly optimized to increase average cart value, revenue, and conversions, which is exactly what you want, because it goes 2 and 2, right? You got conversions, you got traffic, and neither work without each other.
Right. Okay, my question is for you. Did you always feel like you had this in you somewhere? Because, like, for me, I was in insurance also. We have a thing in common. I did insurance education. I used to help with all the agents get their CE and all that stuff. I did all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I made some good money doing that, but I got bored, like you, bored out of my mind. I was done with that. But when I look back at my other kind of careers and things in my personal life, I've always been a go-getter. I've always been a person who likes to produce, someone who likes to be in charge, who likes to feel like he owns his own destiny. I didn't know it was going to be entrepreneurship till later in life, but I felt like it was always there. Did you feel like it was always kind of there too for you? Somewhere?
I don't know. I think the entrepreneur was.
Okay.
But it was such a baby seed.
Okay.
And that was the thing is it never sprouted much. And this was before, this is what we have to realize, this was before Facebook, this was before podcasts,
yeah.
This was before Google,
yeah.
To where I had no one to be mentoring me. I had no one to show me the way.
Wow.
And people listening now, they have to be so they don't even know how grateful they have.
Right.
They're able to listen to people like you, and get coaching from you by a podcast. I would have loved to have something like this, to where I can listen in and get inspired. And there's at that time it was tapes or books and read that.
That's
that
true.
Sounds horrible.
That's true.
Here we have YouTube, and back then it was people make fun of it. It literally was cats and dogs. That's what
it was. You're right. It was. I remember. It totally was. Yes.
And some kids doing backflips because they thought they were cool. And nobody in the ring, no one was on the stage or anything like that. So now everybody has this, and it's now the gurus come out everywhere. So you got to be careful. Now,
yes.
There's too many gurus.
Yes,
right?
I agree.
And which guru is the best one?
Yeah.
So maybe you're not. Maybe you shouldn't be as grateful as maybe I said you should. So, it goes 2 ways, I guess.
Yes.
But now, being able to have a podium and be able to speak to people, I think it's a fantastic thing. So take advantage of podcasts, take advantage of YouTube videos and training and buying stuff. But on the flip side of that, you got to be careful too.
Yeah.
If someone's taking your life coaching, they don't need to be taking anyone else's coaching.
Right.
They don't need to go buy someone else's product.
Right.
They have you. They have your product. Go and do that. And become really good at it. And once you become really good at it, then, okay, next mentor.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that I feel we're so successful is we went from one mentor, became successful at what they taught. And what you'll find with mentors or coaches is they only know so much, right? And they're really good at that exact thing. And so they're going to either coach you or coach you up or make you really good at that one thing because that's exactly how they know what to do. But then you're probably going to need another piece of the puzzle to make it all come together.
Yes.
But there's those little seeds in between those paths between one coach and another coach that seed it all together and make it come full circle that makes you good at whatever your drive is.
I agree.
Right?
Totally agree with that. I will shout out to I had some great mentors along the way, and I was very fortunate. See, I came when I decided to change my whole life at 40, which was almost 10 years ago. Wow. you're right. There was some when I came in. There was little tiny bits of stuff starting to happen. You're right. There wasn't what we have today at all. And you started before that, so you know how it was even more than that. Because when I started, MySpace was just starting to go out of favor, and Facebook was just beginning. You know, Twitter hadn't even been started yet. Like there was, I mean, we were just, and the internet was still very in its infant stage. It was in its real infancy. So for me, I relied on outside people in some of the fields I worked in to be my mentors that have helped me, of course, get to where I am today. I totally leave it to them. But yeah, today it's much more. You can find anything now, find somebody from anywhere at this point, and that's why I like to showcase people that I like you, that people that I'm like, well, let me steer people to this person because this person might be able to be somebody for them, and that's why you're on the show. Because you have to be careful, like you said, like you have to be careful out there. There are a lot of people saying a lot of things, and not all of them useful.
Well, I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a clue. Not you a clue. You already know that. Your listeners.
Yes.
The mentors, the gurus, the life coaches, the people who you want to hire are the people that are doing what they're coaching.
Yes. Yes.
That is the biggest takeaway that you can get.
Yeah.
If you're going to hire somebody who's doing it already and better than you,
yes.
Right? And doing it consistently. Like for us, a great example is, we have our two companies that we're running, and we make more money doing that than we do with coaching.
Right.
And then comes the audacious question, right? The big girl in the room. Well, if you're making so much money with your company, then why would you ever coach anyone? Well, the reason is because I think different coaches have different stories, and mine is under one of those that we can go into some other time. But it's just it's okay for people to give back.
I agree. I'm glad you said that. I agree with that. Completely.
Let people give back. Don't worry about the finances. Just understand, they're willing to give back. It's up to you to stand up, get on a soapbox, and be like, hey, I love what you're doing. I want to be more like you. How do we make a partnership? Well, that usually becomes, through a transaction. It's the same thing if somebody rolled up in a gas station in a Lamborghini. You walked up to him and be like, hey, bro, what do you do? You're obviously doing something better than I am. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, well, I own a construction company. Well, okay. Would you show me how to become what you are? Well, yeah, I'll show you how to do that. Well, then same thing, right? He's wanting to give back. He wants to have some sort of achievement. He's achieved his level of success, and then now he wants to achieve a higher grade of good, which is probably by giving back to the community.
Yes.
People who really want to learn and educate themselves and take the time and discipline to actually go into it. And at the end of the day, there's only so many people that are going to stand up through that path and not lay down and become a skeleton, but actually make it to the finish line and say, wow, so what they are telling me is something true, is a success. Because if it was so easy, everybody would be an entrepreneur.
Right.
No one would have a job, right? They'd all be entrepreneurs, and that's not the way the world works. There's sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
There's blood and tears and nightless sleeps and stress and heartaches, where you have chest pains.
Yes.
There's nothing that anyone can give you and tell you and show you through coaching until you experience it. And it's up to you to say, you know what, I'm in charge, I'm a lion in this world, I'm going to go defeat and conquer what's coming against me. Because I got to tell you, the universe, man, I don't know what your feelings are, God, whatever you want to call it, God or the universe, will test you. Test you so many times that you're like, I got life figured out, I'm making money, cash bank, and then 2 months later, you're almost to the streets because the universe wants to test you because what's coming next is going to be so much greater and so much bigger than what you've ever done before. But the test is here, the test is now to say, are you ready? Can you handle what I'm about to bring to you?
I'm so glad. I'm sorry to stop you there for a second. I'm so glad you said that. You're just this is why I wanted you on my show. I have a mentor when I was going through something a few years ago financially. I thought it was the end of the world, of course, because it was happening. It was happening to me, so of course it's the end of the world. And he said to me, James, let me tell you what happened to me 5 years ago. And he's super successful. You would never guess. When he told me his story, I'm like, I would have never guessed that ever. And just what you just said, he went through, almost everybody who's successful a lot of times goes through something like that, and it's just meaning the universe is preparing you for something else that's a chapter that's going to be even bigger and better in most cases. And a lot of them have bounced back and are doing exactly their calling and doing better. But they've all had a moment, and I had a moment financially that I was going through because, like you said, I was beat bopping along and I was making money and I was doing this and having a time of my life. And sometimes things happen, but now I've bounced back from that. I'm doing even better than ever. So it's kind of like, so I'm so glad you just said that. That sometimes there are bumps in the road that happen, but two ways. I had a really good mentor who helped me through it, and then I also had the drive, of course. But I had a mentor that also kind of like, hey, this happens to a lot of people. This does happen. Hiccups do happen, and it's okay. Just means the universe is preparing you for something else that'll be even more successful if you want it, right?
They will happen.
It will happen. Yeah, it happens.
It's inevitable.
It's life. It's life.
You know, you're a warrior. Go out and kill something.
Well, I like that because you say you just turned 32.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, Lynn! Happy birthday, of course. I think the 30s are for me were a great time because they were a great time of self discovery, and for me, I realized I wasn't a kid anymore, and I realized I was fully an adult, which meant for me that now I can go for exactly what I want. I don't know. In my 20s, I was going for stuff, but in my 30s, it was like, okay, now I can really do this. I got some little bit of life under my belt as an adult, and now it's time for me to go out there and really, really just kind of go forward and be full James Lott Jr. I don't know. Are you kind of feeling kind of the same way? Like you're like I am Trey. I'm in my 30s. I am ready to just kind of handle this. Is that where you're at?
Yeah, I love this time of the year. So the best piece is like you got the new year coming, right?
Yeah.
And what's funny is the new year only is in our mind. Like
yes.
There is no new year.
I agree.
Right? There's the same thing with age. Like you're not 47, you're not almost 50. That's just something that we've installed in our heads to keep time of something. You know, they can not go insane. So where someone says, "How old are you?" You can give them a number.
Right.
You know, but that's an arbitrary number where it only exists because we say it does. Same thing with money. And so when you take out those, or you can apply them to your life, whichever you want to do, you can kind of take a glance at the world at a different pace because you can set yourself up where you can say, you know what, this is my year and this is my time. And so I'm going to do what it takes to set myself up. And, there's a couple things that I love talking about, which is, when your business is running and like ours, like we were, so a year ago, we had this funnel that was pumping, and it was just amazing. To where the traffic just would not stop. Like people just kept pushing it because affiliates were loving it, and it grew too quickly. It grew too fast, to where we were properly prepared for the storm. And I don't know if you've ever watched like The Perfect Storm.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's been pretty old now.
Yeah.
It's like where like two freaking hurricanes line up and it creates like this perfect storm.
Yeah.
Earthquakes are going off. That's kind of what happened to us, except like times 10, to where we were receiving, and I'm going to tell you a number, and it's going to be even hard to fathom. Like I even have a hard time fathoming, but I actually have video of it. We were receiving 15,000 phone calls a day.
Wow.
15,000. And we had 4 reps on the phones. To give you an idea of just the sheer volume of that, a rep can handle about 100 calls a day.
Wow.
We needed 150 reps instantly, instantaneously.
Right.
To be able to conquer the amount of phone calls that we were receiving, because our funnels were just on blast. And there's story upon story that we could talk for hours. But here's the nugget that I learned from that is we obviously weren't prepared. So how do you efficiently prepare yourself, or effectively even prepare yourself for something like that? And it all comes down to one question: how do I multiply this by 1,000? Can this task be multiplied by 1,000? So let me give you an example. Stacy over here in HR gets a phone call for customer service. She writes a little sticky note down to Steven that says, "Hey, call Billy back." So Steven gets sticky note number 1. Then another call comes in, and it's Sarah. Oh, I need to give this sticky note to Steven as well. So maybe Steven has 2 sticky notes on his desk right now. Not a big deal, right?
Right.
He can handle that. But if I came over to that desk and I tossed on 1,000 sticky notes onto his desk, he would probably flip a little bit.
Yeah.
He'd flip out. Because 1, he'd probably lose some sticky notes. 2, he would have no way to organize the sticky notes.
Right.
And 3, what the heck do you do with 1,000 sticky notes?
Right.
So the question is will that task break at 1,000x? If the answer to that is yes, then you have to create some sort of SOP to where you're capable at handling at 1,000x. Because, like, this isn't, I'll be upfront, like, this isn't going to happen to everybody, right?
Right,
But there's
right.
a few listening right now that this is coming, right? That wave and that perfect storm is coming, and you need to be ready. Like, if you're not, you'll fail, and then you'll be in the dust, and you'll be like, oh, well, that was a great time. Like, you had a one-hit wonder kind of thing, but you blew it.
Yeah.
And this is how you prepare. So, you know, if you're receiving 100 calls right now a week, what if you received 1,000 calls a week? How would you scale up in a day? I would say outsource. Have somebody that's ready to outsource your phone calls. Have somebody you can call, like that red phone dial, right? Like, what happens if you're shipping out 100 products right now, which most of you guys are probably doing it by hand or ordering it through different means. But if you scale that from 100 to 1,000 orders per month or per week, that'd be a great deal. But the other side is how do you fulfill? Are you capable of fulfilling 1,000? Because if your spouse feeling bad, I'm going to tell you, your marriage is going to crash because she doesn't want to fill bags anymore. She just wants to cook and have a good old time.
Right,
like, she
right.
was just doing that to help you out.
Right.
She wasn't really like saying like, I want this as a JOB.
That's
like,
true.
I was just here to support
Yes,
you. And
that's
now you're
true.
doing 1,000. Like, my thumbs are hurt.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
So where do you multiply it by 1,000? And that's what's going to help you continue on a pace that you can handle, right? Like, you're holding the reins. Like, you don't want the deer to run away or the horses to run away, and you're left with a carriage without a horse. You need the horse, but you need to be able to hold on when they start speeding up.
So you need to be prepared when the traffic you get traffic. Basically, when you start getting traffic, you need to be prepared when that traffic increases.
Absolutely, because it will. Or you'll find like a honey hole, on Facebook, and boom, like it's like, let's scale, because you don't want to not scale.
Mm-hmm. It's funny.
Huge, right?
It's funny because I'm in 2 different worlds. I'm like in services and also entertainment. And I had a video that a press junket went out for one of the shows on ABC Disney, and just so happened I got my video out before everybody else's did. Just by fluke. I mean, I prepared it. Now I was gonna put it out, and there was like 5 of us who did these interviews, but I got mine out first, so it went viral first, and so I'm getting tons of hits, and it's created the effect of now I'm getting more folks to my webpage, more folks to the YouTube page, and more, it's created all that, which happens. But it's funny. Luckily, I was kind of prepared because I've had it happen a couple times before. But I was like, you said, I was prepared just in case if this happens, I have this in place. If this happens, I have that in place. It's like, because you never know when you're working hard and you're trying to put something out there, a product out there, which my show was a product that I put out there, that it took off. And you're right. You gotta be ready. You gotta be, just in case, have plan B and C just in case when something happens, because you never know. You never know. And,
No. And so, like, the other thing, man, is you get traffic, but that traffic's going to go away.
Yes, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that too. Yes.
So you got to know what to do after the traffic goes away, like after the storm. Mm-hmm. Either you got to go collect your things because the tornado ripped your house apart, or you actually built up concrete borders and you're like, I don't know about you, but I'm good. Like, I'm safe. I'm secure. And how you do that with a business is through a database.
There you go.
And, I don't want everybody to roll their eyes real quick because they're like, oh, Trey's just going to talk about email and how I should build my email list. Because at the end of the day, like, that's all that people concentrate on.
Right.
And if that was the case, like, a lot of these big businesses that are still somehow standing because of the internet thriving business,
mm-hmm.
like I don't know if you know this, but Toys R Us just declared bankruptcy.
Yes.
Like, Toys R
I know.
Like Toys R Us.
I know.
Like Toys R Us is claiming bankruptcy.
I know.
The other brick and mortars, they'd be like shaking at their knees or
Right.
about to buckle, because when a place like Kittyland goes down called Toys R Us,
Yeah.
and these other stores are like, if they can't do it, like how are we going to
Right.
do this? So they you have to build a foundation.
Yes.
And I love having a foundation in place, because that's what's going to keep you standing. If you build a house on sand, well, there's a story in the Bible that'll tell you what happened.
Yeah, I know that. I know that story. Yes, I know that story too. Yes.
You know, at the end of the day, you want to build a foundation on some concrete, on some stable ground, where that's your business, right?
Yes.
But your business is only going to stand up if it has more than one pillar. One pillar might represent a funnel. One pillar might represent an email database. One pillar might represent your listings on Amazon. The thing is you know, like if one pillar goes down, you need to be still going, right?
Yes.
Like don't ever lean on one peg. Like you can never have a one peg stool.
I like that.
Bounce there forever.
I like
right?
that.
You can never bounce on the stool for two pegs.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing is let's continue down that road. So not only are people excited about email, but what I love doing is using what's called like a two-step order form, where basically the user has to enter their name, their email address, their phone number, and their address, click next, and then enter the credit card information. And when they hit next with that first section, that stores their data. So for every conversion I receive, so for every time someone puts up the credit card number and gives me their information, I gather 4 name, email addresses, phone numbers, and addresses. So that is super important.
Yes.
Because once the traffic goes away, I have a duffel bag full of people's names, people's email addresses, people's phone numbers, people's addresses, physical addresses. I can't tell you, Jay, how many times I go home and my freaking mailbox is empty, and I take a picture of it. I take a picture of my empty mailbox to remind myself this is opportunity staring me in the face right now.
Yes.
Direct mail coming back.
Yes.
So what I do then is when the traffic slows, we increase how many emails we're sending out to say hello, buy some more products from us. We're increasing our outbound phone calls, calling our customers and calling our leads. Hey, I noticed that you're interested in that bundle pack we were talking about, but you never managed to buy it. Well, what I do is put that on special right now for you, give you a discount to get you to say yes. You know, to create a buyer out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Next is I want to text them, right? Send them a text message. Next, I want to slide dial. I want to slide broadcast them where basically I plant a voicemail in their mailbox, and then they listen to it, and guess what? They call me back and say, hey, I'm sorry I missed your call. What was it that you wanted to talk about? Oh, I was telling them this product ad over here. It's a new special coming out that's never been to the public. We want to chat with you. So we have inbound traffic coming from outbound voicemails. We have direct mail going out through basically to everyone's address, leads, and buyers, and follow-ups, and upsells, and increases. You see what I'm getting is just because the traffic slows doesn't mean your sales need to slow.
Well, I want to say something quick in the middle of that. I want to attest to the listeners out there. I want to say this. Like, there were a couple times in my business that I did a postcard campaign where I actually created postcards, physical postcards, and for a certain campaign where I did, and for me, some were mailed out, but some I actually went door to door and dropped them off. And I want to tell you something, it worked. Sometimes that quote unquote old fashioned way, it does work. So I like what you said. Now I still did email, I still did online, I still did social media, but the in-person, what we call the high-touch communication, as we call it in coaching, the high-touch communication where you're in front of them, or you're sending something to them directly in their hands, it can work. So I'm glad you said that there's, like, not leaning on one pillar, there's several pillars there, just utilize them all. I mean, like, just don't say, well, I'm going to have emails and that's it. I'm done.
Yep.
But no, I agree with you. I just want to add that in there. You're saying, you're speaking my language. I'm like, I'm saying for a fact, I have done that, and I had a great return. So I just want to put that out there. The big
thing is so let's go over the pillars that we've discussed.
Okay.
So we've talked about email. That's a pillar.
Yes.
People think that you can't make money from email. We make a killing.
Oh yeah, people do all the time. Oh yeah, all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
Like hopefully hopefully people keep saying that, and then that way my emails is always in the inbox. You know?
Yes.
Same thing with direct mail. People are talking about how direct mail is dead. By gosh, it's alive and it's well.
I agree.
Thriving.
I agree.
You know? Phone. Like outbound phone call people. Hello. I
Yep.
know we're internet marketers. I know we're e-com peeps, but get on the freaking phone and call your customers and tell them happy birthday, hallelujah, whatever you want to say.
Right.
And have them buy something from you. You know? So that's three pillars in its own right.
Yes.
Let alone text messaging as a pillar. Like we send out 4 text messages a month. And then here's what's cool, man, is with those, because you have those, you're able to build another set of pillars. And what I'm talking about is things like referrals. So you're able to now start a referral chain of people who not only enjoy and love your product, but are out celebrating and talking about you as a tribe, as a community, talking about, dude, I just bought this amazing product from this company. I've never seen anything like it. You need to get one. And guess what? That creates a whole other source of traffic. And by the way, referrals spend up to 25% more than a cold traffic resource does because they've been referred over to you. They trust you more. The next one is a pillar that a lot of people forget about, which is continuity, which is what I like to call mailbox checks. So at the first of the month, you have people that are paying you a monthly subscription for a service or an offer or something, to where at the first of the month, you got to go on, like you're a coach, right? Like you're a life coach.
Yes.
So at the beginning of the month, you got a mailbox check, my friend.
Yeah.
Like it's in the mail. You're like, hey-o,
yeah.
bills are paid. Like it's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people get stuck on this continuity piece, but it's. I have people paying us from $10 a month up to $5,000 a month, depending on what type of continuity program they want to enroll in. So don't limit yourself.
Yeah. Okay. No. Stop there for a second. I want to say to people out there, for me, I had a mentor tell me, who's a producer in Hollywood, said, you should always be making money while you're sleeping. And I love that saying, and I've stuck to that. And so this beginning of the month thing, I get royalty money from the books I have out there, the music I have out there. So I know what you mean. It's like I get, and then so my coach clients, they pay me once a month for the 4 sessions. Like, so you're right. It's like at the beginning of the month, or however you want to look at it, you get. You do those checks, and you're checking those boxes. You're looking at stuff. Oh, okay, so there's this, there's that, and it is a great feeling. So I agree with you on that. It's a great feeling. But anyway, so you say continuity, subscriptions, that kind of thing. Yes.
Yep. So I want to leave your listeners with a riddle.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll solve the riddle for you, how I solved it. But yet I want you to also solve the riddle.
Okay.
Here's the 3-piece riddle. How do you make $1 million a year, okay, using no resource you currently have? So not a product you have, not what you're doing. So you're not building anything else. You're creating something new. And how do you do it? By only working on it 1 hour a week.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm loving that this is like a time management productivity thing going on here. That's the first thing that comes to my mind, of course, because I know folks who work very shortened hours and get a lot done and make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I do know. I can name like 10 people right now I know who do that personally. They got to the point where they slim down their. Yeah, they have good time management, which isn't managing time. Obviously, it's managing productivity. I want you to answer it because I'm sitting going, I don't know. I want you to. I'm curious to see what your answer is to that. Because I'm like, I'm going that direction, but I'm like really curious to see what your answer is to that.
Yeah. So I want to take you off the ledge first. So
Okay.
A lot of people go freak out and they're like, $1 million a year? I only make $60,000 a year. Like if someone took this riddle to me when I was doing insurance and making $60,000 a year, I would laugh in their face.
Right.
But now, understanding the world a little bit differently and seeing it as it comes through my eyes, as I'm clearer now. It's kind of like the saying, as the blind man peed into the wind, he said, it's all coming back to me.
Yeah, right. No, right.
Yeah, right. As you see it, right? Like
Yes.
as you get vision.
Yes.
So let's hit the riddle one more time, and then we'll walk through it. So $1 million a year, okay, using no resources you currently have, and only contributing 1 hour a week to make it happen? And so to walk people off the ledge first is I want you to memorize a number. And that number is a really easy number. 83,333. So that is 8 and then 4 3. So
Okay.
83,333. That's a very easy number. And what that number represents is that represents what you have to bring in per month in order to yield $1 million.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So if that's the case, then that makes it pretty simple, right? So even if another number that I love calculating is not only the 83,333, but a very easier number is 2,003 sevens. So 2,003 sevens, those lucky sevens, right?
Yes.
Those lucky 3 sevens from Las Vegas. So those numbers represent how much revenue you bring in per day.
Okay.
So like $2,700.
Okay.
Not too crazy.
Right.
Now, not using any resources and only using 1 hour a week of my time. Okay. So I know that somehow I need to achieve $2,700 per day, $83,000 per month. So if we look at it, let's take $83,000. Let's just look at 83,000 divided by, 20. That's 4,100 people.
Okay.
So if I had a continuity membership at $20 a month, I only need 4,100 people.
That's interesting. Okay.
If
Okay.
I do
Okay.
that $40, that's only 2,000 people,
Yes.
right? So what do I currently do, or what don't I currently have, using no resources that I do, to build this product that I can build a continuity program? So what I did was I started regurgitating other people's methods. So I started going out, to the best funnels that are out there as education to my own self, to use my own money to learn and educate and understand why they're running traffic to these funnels, why are they running traffic to these offers, and how are they able to pay out the payout that they are doing. Okay? So I spend my own time. Now what if I go out and I allow people to see the recordings as I'm going through these funnels so that they don't have to pay the same amount of money, which is like usually around $200 to $400 per month that I use.
Yeah.
And instead, they can be paying $20 a month or $40 a month to not only watch me go through these funnels, but to actually see the recordings and not have to spend $400. So they get my commentary, they get the recordings,
Yeah.
and they get to see the funnel for $40 a month, where they'd be spending $400 to $500 a month, plus the time it takes to find the funnels and the time it takes to go through all that. And it only takes me an hour. And I'm only doing 4 funnels a month, and I take 1 hour each week to go through one funnel.
Mm-hmm.
And so I created a continuity program that I never had, using resources that I didn't have, getting 2,000 members at $40 a month, or 4,000 people at 20, or 8,000 people at 10.
Got it right.
And my,
Okay.
and my friend right then and there created $1 million a year business on 1 hour a week using no resources that I currently had.
One thing I like about what you just said, what I like is that you are breaking it down for people who have, when they get stuck and go, I can't do that, or I don't, I'm stuck. How do you do that? Like you just gave us a really great example that could be used in anything, any amount of money or any amount of clients. How to break it down. I like you just did that. You can actually, you just showed us how to break it down where it's much more manageable to look at. And more, what's the word? I won't say doable because I hate that word. But like, it just seems like it can be done when you start breaking it down like that. I love that. I do. I love that. I like the way you broke that down. Because I was thinking, like I said, I was say productivity. I was thinking, you have to choose what you do in that hour really well for it to work. And you just gave us an example of how you do that. So you chose this one. I go to this one funnel once a week. And then you can work on getting those subscriptions or whatever. So I mean, I guess that's what's interesting. How you have to choose. I guess you have to be really clear, right? You have to be really clear on what you're doing first of all, right? Before you get started.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's very important. I guess before you can even get started, know what it is you're doing, what your service is, what you're doing. Then you can go in and break it down and then go from there. I like that. That's
amazing, right?
That is amazing, but it's also not just amazing, but it's just again he's using the word doable, but it seems manageable. It seems like it can be done. It seems like it's not so far fetched. Those are the words I'm going to use more of. It sounded it's not. It doesn't sound like sound like something that is outrageous. Because what you say, well, see, to me, and this is, I mean, trust me, I mean, I love $1 million, right? But to me, $1 million isn't a lot of money anymore, like it used to be. I mean, it's a good chunk, but so when I hear a million, it's like I used to make like 200,000 a year doing insurance, and I hated it. So I mean, I know people can make money, but I like that. But again, so me, $1 million is doable if you really want it and you work a way to get there. And you, like you say, you just gave an example. I think it's very doable to do. You know, so I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, another great continuity program we put together was our Commerce Kings podcast. So,
Yes.
for instance, you could be doing the same thing.
Yes.
Where at the end of the podcast, I say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go behind the scenes of Commerce Kings real quick. And I got 3 questions I'm going to ask them, and I usually talk about this in public. So it's something that we like to take behind the scenes, talk more private. But if you'd like to listen in to that private conversation where we kind of unfold and unlayer new things and new opportunities, you need to check out commercekings.com/VIP. And when you go over there, it's $97 a month. And at that, you get to listen to all 4 recordings every month that we have on Commerce Kings, but behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And so it creates an open loop. It creates basically a non-closed. It's like a soap opera.
Yep.
Where it's like, holy smokes, I want to know what's on behind the scenes. Like, I want to listen to the recordings. I want to know what these guys have to say, because what they gave right now was such gold. What gold do they have to deliver behind the scenes on a private basis? Create that urgency. And yet, we created instantly another $1 million a year program.
Wow. So there's Commerce King, but you also have this Mr. On It podcast too, correct?
Yeah, we have the Mr. On It podcast, which is pretty much just me spitting some game. And then
Okay.
on the Commerce Kings, we interview kings of commerce.
Okay.
People who have done well, people who have good businesses and have grown through the years and through the time and just become somebody because they've kept their head down, they've worked hard and built a community or built a business or whatever. We have them on the show, and how'd they do it, right? Like, what's the nugget? Like, what are you doing that no one else is doing? And really kind of pull that from them. And it's pretty cool. We've had some really amazing people on there, and it just like keeps getting better. Like, we get to a point where it's like, dang, that was like the best episode we've ever recorded. And then we record the next one, we're like, oh my gosh, like that was solid. Like, I'm so excited to get that out, and so it's really cool.
It's a great. I like the name. Great name. I like the spelling, the name, everything. That's because you have to do comments with a K, you guys out there. I like the Good Match Kings. I love that. But you said, but you said Mr. On It podcast. I mean, so it's just you talking like personally to listeners, or like what? I mean, what is it about?
It's just random thoughts. Just like Ian, you were talking right now, things that come up.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, that'd be a good little thing we should record. But we wanted to give the name to like allow others to buy into. So that's why we came up with Commerce Kings, because anybody can become a king of commerce.
Yeah.
Not everybody can become Mr. On It. So that's why we started to create this new kind of pillar. Like, we didn't want to. You never want to fold a business name into a new business name.
Yeah.
You're better off keeping the old one and keeping that one going, and then bring in something new. So that way it's on top of mind, and the vision is right from the get-go what you want it to be. And that's where Commerce Kings was built, was to allow for us to have Kings of Commerce, and then the Commerce Kings Mastermind, where basically we build up kings, right?
Yeah.
We take people's businesses and we say, okay, where are you at? What are you doing? What do you need to scale? What can you bring into your business? Like, we've added like little things to businesses, like a continuity program or a back-end funnel or an upsell, and it's just totally changed the profit of the company to where they're able to spend more money on traffic. Their car values have raised. They're saying, holy smokes, I thought I was doing good, and now with this minor change or this tweak or this addition, it's like a whole new world, right? And I call those quantum leaps.
Yeah.
Like, how do you go? Most people go from stair step to stair step. So if you looked at like your house, you have a staircase. Most stairs have 16 stairs in the house.
Right.
The question is most of us take a business stair step by stair step. Sometimes we feel a little adventurous, we'll skip one, right? Like, especially if we're in a hurry, like we'll take the stairs by 2.
Yeah.
But my question is in your business, in each area of your business, how do you go from the first step to the 16th step in one step?
Okay. Okay.
So how do you do that? And those are the questions.
Yeah, those are the questions, and that's what you
And
help
ask
people.
yourself.
I mean, that's what you help people with when if they join you for for your mastermind series, or you kind of help them figure that out.
Of course,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, the thing is, like, it's just adding things, or it's looking at the funnel, or it's looking at why you're not optimized so well. Or a great example would be a client of ours that came in 2 months ago, and he was on Shopify, and he had a product on Shopify
Mm-hmm.
where he was converting at 2.5%, and he had made $89,000 selling this product. Okay, over the last 5 months, they brought in like $89,000 over the last 5 months. He was showing us statistics. So we sat down with him. We built up a funnel. We showed him the idea of continuity, and by the funnel alone, he went from a 2.5% to a 5%, and his average cart value doubled.
Mm.
So if we look back at the difference from 2.5%, if he would have been using the same funnel that we showed him how to use from the get-go, he would have not made $89,000. He would have brought in $178,000 from the same traffic source.
Yeah.
And then the cart value, it increased. So the cart value increased by 38%. So if you take $89,000 and you times that by 38%, that would have added on $33,820 to the $89,000 that he brought in. But realistically, it should have been $67,000 because we doubled down on his conversions, which means his cart value would have also followed that.
Yeah.
So instead of making $89,000, my friend, he should have made $245,000, $250,000.
So you
have the right optimization.
Yeah, so they should come to you because your team, because you'll get the right optimization. You'll look at their business, look at how they're doing things. You will break it down and be able to say, this is what you need to do in this area, this is what you need to do in this area, and then they can be able to build them up. That's kind of what they should come to you for, right?
Yeah. We can take companies that already have existing products on Shopify or Amazon or even in a funnel, and that's usually the same case, right? It's like doubling down on the conversions, increasing their cart values. We call them reactive funnels, to where it's just an expansion of what a person sees or how a customer is treated through the funnel, and we've dialed it in, man, hundreds of millions. That's a lot of money. To where we've articulated how a funnel should be put together, and then we duplicate that over our clients' companies, and are seeing the same results.
Yeah, I just want to make sure people know that you work with new people, of course, but also existing companies too. Like you work with both and all. That you work with them and you apply your methods, with them. Doesn't matter if you're new or existing. So I want to make sure people hear that you work with both. That there's both out there. That's fine.
Yeah.
So if you're existing, you can help too.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
I can talk to you forever. Our hour's up already. I can talk to you forever. And you'll just have to come back on. You'll have to come back on again another time. I mean, this is just. I really enjoy. I mean, you for me personally, folks out there. I mean, I feel like doing these shows because I do learn things or get re-energized from the guests out of my show. You said several things that just clicked for me that I'm like, yes, I agree with that. You're great. You're amazing.
Appreciate it, man. Same to you.
You
I'm
are.
glad people listen to you, brother.
You're amazing. So I think, and so it's okay. So now here's your turn to tell people where they can find you on all the social media platforms and online. And I will be quiet while you tell people where they can find you.
At the end of the day, man, they just need to keep following you.
What
you got going on.
Yes.
Like you're interviewing great people.
Thank
you. Have a great coaching program.
Thank you.
You're telling people how to do amazing things. Follow you. Do what you're doing. Just model it. That's all there is to it. I'm
living my life. Yeah, I'm living my life. I'm trying to be the example. So I'm living my life. so people can
There
see
you go.
how I do it.
There you go.
But where can they find you on social media? They want to talk to you.
Oh, I mean, just Google Trey Llewellyn. You'll find it.
And that's Lewellen. You can find it. He's on there. That's Trey. He is on there. He's out there. Plus, on our Facebook page, you guys, a lot of help. I'll actually have links to his pages. They'll be on there also. And on Twitter, we'll have to make sure we have some links on there too for him because he's good. He has a YouTube page. I want you guys to see his YouTube page. There's some great videos out there that I think you should watch also. Which talks about different things, and he's somebody you should check out. If he's somebody, he might be somebody who might be able to help you out with your business. That's something that, I appreciate that. So you might want to check him out. And of course, check us out. We're on Spreaker.com. We're on iTunes. We're about to be on iHeartRadio. I just submitted this for iHeartRadio, and that's coming through next. And of course, you can follow me, James Lott Jr. Where all James Lott Juniors are on the internet. Just there's actually only one of me, so you can find me. I'm there. And I want to thank Trey for being on the show. I want to thank everybody for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.